Hi everyone, welcome to World of Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie. This is the American Tier 9, the T54E1, but this game isn't about me and my T54E1. This is someone I platoon with, Muztang from Balls Clan, and she's in her T54, the Russian medium tank at Tier 9. You can see at the start, XVM gave this game a 38% chance to win, but if you follow my videos, you'll know that I never regard that too seriously. Put on Sacred Valley, I think this map is, and we're heading down to where the mediums normally go. Up on this hill, going to have a look over the valley, try and shoot a few of the bad guys, and take it from there. This tank, the auto-loaded, the T54E1, I think I'm doing okay in it. I haven't found its sweet spot yet. I've had plenty of games where I've done plenty of damage and had some good wins, but I just can't click with it at the moment. But I'm sure it'll come. I haven't really had a red hot go at grinding through this line yet. I'm still miles away from the T54.
Ready to fire. Enemy armor is hit.
You can see I've been spotted by that bulldog, I dare say.
The main gun is damaged. We can't fire accurately.
And there's an RU-251 up there as well, which just shot me. So I try and take a little bit of cover amongst the little buildings, temple-y kind of buildings that are up here. And this rock. Mustang's in the same vicinity as me in her T54, but she's not doing what I'm doing. I'm making this is my fatal error here. Obviously they have light tanks which are lighting us up, and being next to this rock, even though this rock's good solid cover, it's less than ideal because they can still see us, and there are bigger tanks. You can see on my damage count I've been hit by a Rheinmetall Borsig, Tiger twice, as well as the RU-251. The Tiger's obviously not there. If the Tiger was there we would see him. The RHM of course will be back on the other side of the bridge, but I'm spotted again. Take another hit from the Tiger, and I don't even get a shot off at that bulldog. He's just out of my view range now, or out of my rendering distance. And like I do, I should have been right back where those buildings are behind me. You can see Mustang in the background doing the right thing, just having a look around the corner. It's obvious that they've got spotters. They can see what we're doing. They can see where we're hiding, and they're just picking us off. We don't have a light tank out there to light them up, so the chances of us seeing them as they're shooting at us are quite remote. And so as I'm sitting here scratching my head, I'm thinking, oh, this isn't too good. That was a new mistake. But from here on, we're going to look at the game from Mustang's point of view, and even though we're down, this should end up being a good game. So here we are at Mustang's roof looking down. She's taken a shot at that Tiger 1, and now we do have a light tank going out there to light up the enemy. The T49, as I died, was going around back to where our AMC AC-48 is, to go down the hill and around that hill in the centre to light some of the tanks up and put a little bit of damage in. But from this point of view, Mustang can put some damage into the enemy side, but she's realised that he's now gone, he's now dead. He did a bit of a YOLO run by the looks of things, and he was surrounded by the T31, the RHM, the Bulldog, and probably the Tiger as well, and he had no chance on his own down there. So at this point of the game, we're talking on TeamSpeak, and Mustang's sort of say, well, I might as well get down there under some cover and light some of these tanks up for that AMX. But needs to be very careful using the rocks as cover, using the bends. The Tiger 1's no real threat at Tier 7 against a T54. She should be able to put a bit of damage into him at Tier 9 versus a Tier 7. And with that rock solid turret of hers, the Tier 7's not gonna do any damage from where she's sitting there. So she puts a bit of damage into this Tiger. She's still on her own though. She needs to be careful. She knows I'm watching from her point of view. We're talking on TeamSpeak. The Chi-Ri ends up killing the Tiger, and at this stage we're winning 9-8. It's also at this stage where the game starts to get quite interesting. Looking at the map, we know there's a Rheinmetall Borsig and a T-34-1, which were last spotted in Mustang's vicinity, and we know that they have some tanks on the northwest flank of the map as well. So Mustang, but there's also another Rheinmetall Borsig who's got 1 or 2 kills that hasn't been spotted this game. So Mustang's just taking her time here. She knows she's got the AMX AC-48 to back her up from behind. Even though it's only a tier 8 tank destroyer, like most tank destroyers, they get a better gun than is par for their tier. Crossing this bridge is a little bit risky, but she's lit up both Rheinmetall Borsigs. So she wants to put in a little bit of damage into these Rheinmetall Borsigs and try and turn the tide back in our favour. Now at this stage we're losing still 11-12, so we're only down by 1 tank. But look at our other tanks. Our other tanks are scattered. You could not get more further away from each other than where our other tanks are. Our J Panther, which on the mod pack I've got installed on the minimap, going by that circle that's not around the J Panther, looks like he's a one-shot kill for anyone on the enemy team. Our AMX AC-48 is on full health, going by the circle around him, and we can see Mustangs on about 2/3. Still looking at the mini-map, you can see the French tank destroyer. Looks like he's heading back towards the base, but he's actually going around to try and help the J Panther 2, who's got his hands full with the T-34-1 and the AMX 5120. He gets rid of the Chinese medium. Now the scores are even at 12 apiece. But it looks like Mustang's been spotted by the Rheinmetall, and she takes 2 hits consecutively between the two. So she's now roughly a one-shot kill for them. She's on 529 health, which is, I think that's what they do, depending on what gun they've got on them. Obviously, if they've got the short stumpy gun, the big gun, they'll take that health off her quite easily. If they've got the long, more accurate gun, they might kill her in one shot. So she needs to be careful. The AMX AC-48 is now moving into a better position. She takes another hit and she's down to 61 hit points. But she puts a couple of shots into the Rheinmetall. But there's 2 of them. It's 2 guns versus 1, and this is where Mustang does really, really well in my opinion. This is where she lights them up for those 2 tank destroyers. Bearing in mind those other 2 tank destroyers still have the AMX 5120 to deal with, who was last spotted on the northwest corner of the map. She spots that Rheinmetall, but we know that nobody else on our team will be able to shoot him where he is up there. He's simply too far, and there's too much terrain between him and those tank destroyers. And besides, those 2 tank destroyers will be looking for that tier 9 French heavy tank. So we're talking furiously on TeamSpeak here. What do we do? Do we go this way? Do we go the other way? She's spotting that Rheinmetall really well. But as we know, you can see it. You can see he's aiming where she's going to pop up over the crest if she goes that way. The 2 tank destroyers in the northwest corner are still trying to find that AMX 5120. I'm talking to Mustang, so be careful. He's aiming exactly where you would end up if you went over the top. And this, even though the T-54 is a great little tank, it doesn't have the gun depression to go up over on the side. So at this point I'm looking from the point of view from the French tank destroyer, and we can see that the 5120 is on very low health. Looks like he's on about 50. Now back to Mustang's point of view. She's just taking her time. You look at the clock, we've still got nearly 6 minutes left. There's only 3 tanks left on each side. Statistically, all the tanks are very good in this game. The AMX 5120 being the standout as far as XVM goes, but our AMX takes out the 5120, while one of their Rheinmetall Borsigs kills our Jag Panther, which we know that with the reload time, Mustang's got enough time to put a shot in. She might have had enough time to put 2 shots in had he stayed up on top of that hill, but obviously he used his brains and he went back behind that crest. And that Rheinmetall Borsig is now a 1 shot for Muztang as well. He's on 142 health. With 2 tanks left on each side, most of them, apart from our French tank destroyer, on very low health. Everyone is, I think at this stage, everyone's pretty much a 1 shot for everyone else where it comes to the Rheinmetall Borsigs and Muztang. Muztang on 50 odd health points, anyone could just drop a stone near her and she'll be killed, so she needs to be really careful. Our little Frenchie, he's getting into a better position, hopefully. I know he's a better statistical player than I am, but with 600 hit points, I'd be tempted to move a little bit forward. Mustang's lighting up that Rheinmetall. He's aiming. Hopefully he gets him. No. So we're getting a little bit stressed on the team speak at this stage. But Mustang's doing the right thing in keeping that Rheinmetall Borsig lit up. He's only on 142 hit points. If anyone can hit him, it's going to be a gun, a dangerous gun, taken out of the game. Our little French friend is trying to get into a better position. Even though he's on 620, I can understand his point of view. He's probably thinking, well, if both Rheinmetalls hit me, I'm gone. And he does take a shot at that one, but doesn't hit by the looks of it. Mustang's just going to continue to spot. As I said, we're talking on TeamSpeak. It looks like that Rheinmetall is aiming at Frenchie, but looks like the Frenchie gets him. So now it's 2 versus 1. So there's a lot of pressure off Muztang at this stage. All she needs to do is find that other Rheinmetall, which was last spotted back down here in the valley. From our point of view, it was a very exciting game. It was quite tense. It's always good when someone carries you to a great win after dying tragically early to a noob mistake like I did. Looking from Frenchie's point of view, he's trying to move into a better position. Mustang's going back around behind these rocks, which is the last place that he was spotted. Obviously, this is, in my opinion, and one reason why I've put this up on YouTube is this is a great display of patience. And patience is something I often don't display unless someone reminds me to. A lot of my mistakes when I play, and a lot of people's mistakes, is not taking your time. It'd be quite easy for your Mustang to think, I'm on 50 hit points, why bother? But she's hung around, she's spotted these tanks, she's looked for opportunities to light these tanks up. We're looking at there, we can see he's aimed the other way, and she gets the final kill. And what a great game from her. So there we go with the post-game battle results. As usual, Mustang having an awesome game with nearly 2,600 damage and a kill, with a base experience of 881 compared to my paltry 357 XP for 374 damage. But taking your time, showing a bit of patience, lighting up those Rheinmetall Borsigs for our French tank destroyer to do a bit of damage on, as well as our Jag Panther. Showing the patience, waiting until they weren't aiming in her direction, and not doing what I did and putting herself in danger when there was no real chance of getting anything positive from pushing forward. As I said, using a patience and getting around those rocks, using the cover, ended up winning us the game, in my opinion. In my opinion, the French and the German tank destroyers wouldn't have carried this game without Mustang's assistance. So as usual, great game from her. Big hello to her, and love that photo of her and I in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, looking fabulous as always. Hope you've enjoyed this replay. It's not a replay where I did particularly well, but one of my platoon mates and teammates had an awesome game. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Take care, and bye for now.